Hello, my name's Kate Edmondson. I'm a nursery nurse for the school nursing team in Warsaw, and I'm going to take you through the school for the emotional health workshop. So what do we mean by emotions and emotional health? Well, emotions is how we think and how we feel, and that we can experience a range of emotions from happy to sad to angry to upset. There is no such thing as a good or bad emotion, and it's normal and healthy to feel these different emotions. But it's how we respond to those emotions that is important, and how we acknowledge our own emotions as well as those of others. So when people are stressed, they tend to focus on the negatives in their lives because the negatives are the ones that have the bigger impacts. And people can be in the same situation yet think and feel and behave differently. And even if we have the same emotion, we can behave differently. For example, if we're feeling sad, some of us might be upset and we might cry, where others might become angry. So, what affects your child's emotions? So, life changes, and these can be big life changes such as moving school. It can be parents, carers splitting up. There could be a bereavement, or it could be something that we might think is very small, that their class teacher isn't in their class that day. It could be that you're having a difficult time. This can be effect on your child. They can pick up on what you're feeling and take that on themselves. Your child might be having a difficult time. This could be at school or it could be at home. It could be that they're experiencing bullying. They're finding their schoolwork difficult. Your child might be needing more attention, and this is shown in how they're behaving or how you've handled a difficult behaviour before. Your child might be having anxieties about coming to talk to you. So, how can we help our children understand their emotions? So, being able to name their feelings. So, they could mirror how you say it. So, I am feeling happy today. Can you tell me how you're feeling? And getting them to mirror back about how they're feeling. Or you could say, I can see that you're looking sad today. How are you feeling today? Taking time out to listen and chat to your child. And this can be putting that into your daily routine. If your child has come up to you and wants to talk to you about something, it's actually taking time to stop what you're doing and sit down and listen to them first, and then chat to them. Normalizing how your child is feeling, and saying it's okay to feel that way, and that other people and other children will be feeling that way in that situation as well. And looking at the positive ways of dealing with our feelings. So, for example, instead of being, if your child is being very negative and saying, I can't do this, I'm rubbish at that, trying to turn it into a positive and saying, I can try my best. I can do it. An activity that we do is called the bear cards. And on these bear cards, we have pictures of cartoon bears and their facial expressions and their body language is showing a different emotion. And we ask the children to explain and to describe that emotion that they're seeing. We talk about what is their face showing. So if it's a sad face, that their eyes might be looking down, or they might have tears. And then we ask them, what is their body language showing? So it could be that it's all scrunched up. We also explain that it's okay that I might see the bear in that way and how that bear is feeling, but someone else might think they're hiding, and that's okay too. If you haven't got anything like the bear cards, using pictures like the emoji pictures and asking your child to explain what they think that face looks like, how they think that face is feeling. If your child is struggling to name that feeling, they could also use something like the emoji cards. They can show the emoji card, and then you can say, oh, does that mean you're feeling happy? Or does that mean you're feeling excited? And getting them to then say, that means I'm feeling happy. So anxiety. So anxiety is a feeling of unease, such as worry or fear. And anxiety can be from mild to severe. and everyone feels worried or scared or upset from time to time. An example for your child could be that they're worried or anxious about sitting a test or an exam, or they may be going into a new class or into a new school. And that's perfectly normal to feel worried and scared. But there are times when they don't need to feel this way. And if we can learn to listen to what our bodies are telling us, we can understand ourselves much better and know what to do when those difficult situations come up. So the signs of anxiety. Your child might be asking lots of questions when an upcoming event is happening. And it can be quite annoying that they keep asking the questions over and over again. But it's just that reassurance that they're wanting. If your child's known as that shy child, either the shy child in the family or that shy child at school, that could be a sign that they're anxious. They can become social withdrawal, so they don't want to go to parties or they don't want to go to social events. They might be avoiding, if they do go to an event, they might be wanting to stay close to the parent or the carer and not interact with other people. Wanting to be a perfectionist, so they want to get the thing right the first time. And this is because they don't want to be shown up. Child or young person might be finding it difficult to rest or fall asleep, or they might be finding that their normal sleeping pattern has changed and then they're waking within the night. You might see a change in the child's appetite, and this could be that they're overeating or they're not eating very much. So an activity we like to do is something called the body clues. So you can draw a body outline and then ask your child to explain some of the things that they might be feeling when they're starting to feel anxious or worried. So what is their body telling them? And this could be that a lot of the signs could be that their hearts are beating faster, they have tummy ache or they're feeling sick. And we sometimes call this, we have butterflies in our tummies. Their palms of their hands might become sweaty. They have headaches or their mind is racing. They might get red. They might cry. Their voice might be broken or might not be able to talk at all. They might have something called jelly legs or restless legs. It's a really good activity to do with your child so they can understand what their body is telling them. So when their body is telling them showing them this is the first sign, they can start to do something about it. And this could be that they talk to a grown-up or someone they trust. Or they might start using relaxation techniques to help them. So self-esteem. So what does self-esteem mean? Well, self-esteem is the belief you place in yourself as an individual. Self-esteem represents pride and self-confidence, and good self-esteem helps people cope with things that come their way. So how can you tell if someone has good self-esteem? Well, they're usually willing to give something new a go. So a new activity comes up and they jump straight in there and give it a good go. They're not bothered or upset by negative comments. For example, someone will say, oh, that jumper looks terrible on you. And they just brush it off because they're happy with how they look. They're happy to listen to advice from others and actually take constructive criticism. They're confident and they think more positively. So instead of thinking, I'm not going to be able to do that, they're thinking, I'm going to give that a really good try. And they like themselves and they're happy with how they look. So what are self-esteem destructors? So being ignored. If someone's talking and they're just being ignored, someone's turning their back on them when they're talking. Name calling. So if it's quite negative and it's saying in a negative way, you're just like your dad, you are. Fear of others laughing at them, and this could be because they've been laughed at before. A lack of interest in what they're being said, or there's no eye contact. An example is if someone's talking and then someone else, the person they're talking to, just picks up their phone and looks at their phone. Gestures such as shaking their head or rolling their eyes or making noises and grunts while someone's talking, that can affect someone's self-esteem. Fear of others thinking their ideas or experiences childish or silly. And this can be because they've been told that before. And comments such as if, and that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, can really affect someone's self-esteem. So how can we raise our child's self-esteem? Well, giving descriptive praise. So not just saying something like, oh, that's great, actually saying what is it that's great. So it could be that they've come home with a piece of work and you say, oh, that piece of work is fantastic, well done. I can see how hard you've worked on that piece of work. Giving and receiving compliments. Sometimes we find it easy to give compliments, but actually receiving compliments is important. And putting that into your daily routine. So giving someone a compliment each day. Encouraging and supporting your child, especially if they're really worried or anxious about something or something hard is coming up, giving them that encouragement and telling them that you're behind them. Listening to your child and young person, so taking that time out to actually sit down with them and listen and not talk over them and just have a chat with them. Rewarding them for trying their best. So instead of rewarding them for reaching a goal, rewarding them for trying to get there. And when we talk about rewards, we don't talk about giving them money or buying them presents. It could be just spending more time with the family, having a film night, choosing their favourite dinner, giving them reassurance when things aren't quite going their way, and normalising feelings, telling them it's okay to feel that way. So low mood. So a general low mood can include worry. So someone's over worrying about something, over worrying about a situation. And sometimes this can be a reaction to a life event. A low mood can bring upon panicky feelings or anxiousness. Someone with low mood can feel more tired than they normally do and can sometimes become frustrated or angry more easier. And low mood can bring upon low self-esteem and low confidence. So what are the causes of low mood? So it could be a family circumstance. This could be a parent or carers arguing or splitting up. It could be financial problems within the family, or it could be a bereavement. Bullying could be a cause of low mood or issues with friendships. There could be difficulties at school, and this could be from exams, or they're not coping with the lessons that they're being taught and not understanding their work. And health conditions can bring on low mood. But low mood tends to improve when the issue is resolved and the worry has gone away. And we can do this by getting enough sleep, talking through their problems, and taking a positive action to the reason of that low mood. So when low moods can become worrying, so if your child's low mood continues and your child is displaying the following signs, you should always seek advice from your GP. So those could be if your child is feeling feelings of self-worth and or sense of hopelessness and helplessness. They're losing interest in activities that your child normally enjoys, such as if they're normally on a football team and they love football, they're now losing interest in that. They're not wanting to go to training. They're not wanting to watch it on TV. They have a loss of energy, or your child is feeling more tired than they normally are. If you start noticing that their work is significantly being impacted, or even if they're actually refusing to go to school. If they've now started having a disturbed sleeping pattern, either they're sleeping too much and you're having to wake them up in the morning, or they're finding it difficult to sleep or difficult to stay asleep. If they start isolating themselves from others, not just their friends, but from their family too. So they might come in from school and they go straight upstairs and they only come out to go to the toilet or to get something to eat and they go straight back in there. If you find there's a change in your child's appetite, and this could be that they're eating very little or overeating. If you see a change in your child's appearance, and this could be a weight loss or weight gain, or if a child particularly enjoys um, having a good appearance, but you've started noticing that they don't care how they look anymore. And in more severe cases, they've got thoughts of self-harm. You must get support straight away. So this is Hannah, and Hannah is our 5 ways to well-being, and her name actually means happiness. So connect. So the first 5 ways is connect. And to smile at someone, to walk down the street and actually smile at someone. That smile could be the first smile that that person has had for a long time, and it would really lift their mood. Listening to your friends and your family and spending time with those people you care. Telling your friends and your family how you're feeling, telling them that you love them and that you support them, and being there for your friends or family, especially if they're going through difficult situations. Being active. And this could be that you go to local classes and going to fitness classes, and you're finding fitness for your children to go to, such as self-defense or dance classes. But it could be fitness can be done at home. It could be while you're cleaning up, or you can make it a family thing where you put the music on loud and have a silly dance. Instead of going to school in the car, if you can, walk to school, and maybe timing yourself, see if you can walk there faster and see if you can get there faster each day. And then with general exercise, and this could be going for a walk or swimming or going for a run, and you can do this as a family. Taking notice. Do we actually see do we actually see things as we're walking along the road? So actually looking at that tree and noticing the colours of the leaves, looking at the different buildings that are in the street, appreciating what's around us, appreciating what we're eating, actually tasting the food instead of just eating it because we're hungry, seeing the beauty in the things around us, and reflecting on our own experiences, which helps us understand what matters the most to us. Keep learning. So it could be trying something new, encouraging your child to try something new. So it could be taking on a new hobby, learning a new skill, and this could be cooking or playing the guitar. Looking at after school clubs that your child could attend, and it doesn't have to be the active after school clubs. It could be that they might be interested in art or something like that. Setting yourself challenges, getting your child to set themselves a challenge which is achievable. And giving, and when we talk about giving, it's not about giving money. It could be giving your time to someone, giving your time to listen to your friends or family, doing something nice for somebody, ringing somebody up and speaking to them that you haven't spoken to for a long time, telling people that you care about them, and giving a compliment, not just to others, but to yourself as well. So in the school nursing team, we have several programs which are called the Friends programs, which help children and young adults cope with their anxieties. So these Friends programs range from the age of 4 right up to the adults, and they're all similar in content. However, it's all age appropriate, and we have additional techniques for each stage of the development. So our first one is Fun for Friends, and the age of this is 4 to 7. We have Friends for Life, which is 7 to 11 years. We have My Friends Youth, which is 12 to 16 years. And then we have Resilience for Life, which is 16 plus. What is Friends? Well, Friends was developed by a world-renowned child psychologist, Dr. Paula Barrett. It's an Australian evidence-based programme, and it relates to the early prevention and treatment of anxieties, and it promotes positive relationships. This programme promotes social and emotional well-being, and it teaches improved coping and problem-solving skills. And children and young people and adults can use these skills in their daily lives. And these sessions build up of emotional resilience, which is strength. So it's created to assist children and young people to develop life skills and how to effectively cope with difficulties or difficult situations. It promotes self-confidence and good self-esteem, and it normalises the emotional state of anxiety. It also promotes emotional well-being through group and peer learning experience. And we find the Friends programme is a powerful standalone early intervention programme. So our Friends programme is made up of 8 weeks, and for each week we have a different activity. So each letter of Friends, we learn new skills within that. So our first one is feelings, and within feelings we look at, do we understand feelings? Do we understand feelings in ourselves? How do we react to different feelings? And how do we understand other people's feelings? R is remember to relax and have quiet time. And within R, we look at our body clues, how our body is our friend, and how it tells us before we actually realise that we're becoming anxious or worried about something. And when we do start having those feelings, we then learn the skills of relaxation techniques. I is for I can do it, I can try my best, which with a lot of people with anxieties, they do focus on the negatives. So within I, we look at techniques of how we can change that. And we look at, I can do this, I can try my best, I am good at this. E is for explore solutions and coping step plans. So with this, when we have a big problem, with coping step plans, we chop this big problem into small, achievable steps. And with those, we look at who can support us with each step. N is now for reward ourselves. We've done our best. And we look at when we've achieved those steps, how can we reward ourselves? And again, with rewards, it's not about having money or having presents. It's about being kind to ourselves and treating ourselves. For example, watching our favourite film, spending time with people I love. D is for don't forget to practice. So we learn all these skills within the Friends, but now we really need to practice those skills. And then S is for smile and stay calm for life. So if anyone's ever been on an aeroplane, as part of the safety, they always say when the oxygen mask falls, adults need to put their own oxygen mask on first before assisting children or other people. And sometimes when parents and carers are anxious or have low self-esteem, this can impact on the way they manage their child's behaviour. And children also mirror parents' anxieties, and this can come out in how they behave and how they communicate through their behaviour. But if a parent or carer has good emotional well-being, they're in a better place to support their child. So we have an adults resilience programme, and this helps adults to build confidence, reduce their anxiety, and improve skills to cope more effectively with the many challenges that come of being adults and carers and parents. So some of the skills that are taught within the programme are developing awareness of their own feelings. A lot of us adults know how we're feeling, but are we aware of all the time of how we're feeling and how the effects that has on others? We look at mindfulness and empathy. We identify our body clues. So when we are getting stressed, how is our body our friend and how is our body telling us? And then we look at relaxation techniques. We look at challenging those negative thoughts that we have and changing them into more positive thoughts. We look at role models and then look at building support networks, not just within our own families, but further out. And then we look at setting goals and exploring solutions and coping step plans and who can support us with those. Within the school nursing team, we also have parenting programs. So the first one we have is called Understand Your Child's Behaviour. It's also known as the Solihull approach. And it's a 10-week program for parents and carers who want to know a bit more about effective parenting. And we work upon all those skills that as a parent you already have. So within these sessions, we look at how are you and your child feeling? Do we understand how our child's feeling? Then we look at tuning into our child's development needs. Are our child at the right development stages, and is that affecting their behaviour? We look at the child and parent relationship and about how it's important to have fun together. We look at self-regulation and anger, and then we look at communicating your child and what to do when things go wrong. Next program we run is called Triple P. It's the Positive Parenting course, and this is an 8-week course. You have 4 weeks in class where we teach you all of the techniques and strategies. You have 3 weeks at home where you carry out the strategies that you've learned, but we don't just leave you there. We actually give you a call every week to see how you're getting on and to see if you need any more support. And then we have 1 week back in the class where we go through what went wrong and how we can move forward. So within the Triple P, the sessions also include the causes of children's behaviour, building up positive relationships, promoting desirable behaviours, and managing misbehaviour. The next programme we have is called the Signating Parenting Programme, and this parenting programme is aimed at parents that have and carers that have children that have a diagnosis of ASD, and it really empowers that parent and carer to increase their understanding of the strengths and difficulties that are associated with ASD. And it's very much like the understanding your child's behaviour, but it tunes into the children with ASD. If your child is experiencing any problems and they want to talk to someone, there is a free online advice for young people, and it's called COOF. And they can talk through problems that they might be having at home or at school, with friends and relationships. They may be being bullied. And COOF is a safe and professional and confidential service. So getting more help. If you want to, if you feel that you want to ask for more advice and more support, the school nurse have a helpline, and that is the one 01922 423 349. And there's a nurse on duty Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We also have a texting service. This is all confidential, and you can text into a school nurse, and they can either text you back or they'll contact you to see if you want to be called. We have our websites, which is Health for Kids and Health for Teens. You can click onto those, and then there's a scroll down box where you can put into your area, and it'll give you all the health information for that area. We have a chat health for young people aged 9 to 19, and this is also a confidential service for those young children. But if we do ever feel that there's a safeguarding issue, we do have ways that we can find that child and contact that child. We have our Instagram and we have our Twitter, School Nursing, and this is a good way to find out what kind of groups we're running. So I do hope you found that interesting. If you do have any more questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. And thank you for listening.